Welcome to week 1 of tearing down the engine. I have no idea how long it's going to take me to do this, but we're going to start counting from the beginning again. So, for those of you who haven't been watching before, welcome to a Geek's Garage. I'm tearing down the 1991 Dodge twin turbo Stealth and rebuilding the engine. If you're wondering why, go back and take a look at the first set of videos where I actually showed me getting delivery of the vehicle and the reason why I'm tearing this thing down. I'm actually hoping that today, when I start tearing this thing down, we're actually going to find what I'm suspecting is here, which is a thrown bearing, and we should be able to find that pretty soon. But anyways, yeah, week 1 of tearing down the engine, here we go. So this week I picked up some extension bars for the ratchet tool so that I can get into some tighter spots. Really should have had these a long time ago. If you don't have these and this, go out and get these. This thing is amazing. It makes this process so much easier. I should probably mention one thing. So if you watched the first set of videos, I had a set of guidelines to go by. I put a link into the video, or each of the videos, for a website where a guy did a great job of documenting how to pull the engine. So I had a guide to go from when I was doing that. This, I have no idea. I'm literally starting from the outside and working my way towards the end, pulling off pieces and documenting them as I go. So feel free to use this as a reference if you see what stuff I'm taking off, but know that I have no idea what I'm doing and just trying to sort of pull this together as I go. So I think that'll be the last warning for now. I forgot. I got these. So these are going to be super important. This should have all the information in it on how to put this thing back together. The reason I went and got it now is because, as you've probably picked up, I have a horrible time with names and I know I'm calling parts the wrong thing. So the idea is going to be to use this to help me make sure that when I label the bags for the parts that I'm taking off and label the what they are, I'm actually labeling them with the right names, so that when I go to put this thing back together, I'm actually doing it right and putting the right things in the right spots. This thing is available online. There's basically bootleg copies of it out there. Feel free to, go look for one of those. I really wanted Dead Tree version. As much of a geek as I am, I still like my Dead Tree versions of manuals. So, eBay, 90 bucks. so that's going to do it for I'm going to just call it the back side of the Firewall side of the engine. It's probably also the left side of the engine, I guess, if it was in a car that didn't have a transverse mount engine. The only thing I haven't done is gotten the exhaust manifold off, and I'm going to keep soaking those because they're really rusted on, and while I can get to most of them with the power ratchet, I cannot get to this one in here with it, and this one's going to be really bad. So for now, I'm going to rotate the engine around, document the rest of the parts that I took off of here, make sure that I don't lose anything, and start on the other side. So if you watch the video of me trying to mount the engine to the engine stand, one of the things that I had mentioned was that it had to take quite a long time on the front side of the engine to remove a bolt from that holds the transmission on. I said there was some kind of flange or something that had broken off and fallen in and was actually blocking my way. Well, I think I figured out where that goes. When I took the turbo off on the other side, the piece all came together, the turbo as well as the exhaust pipe. This side, the turbo was loose, and so I was actually able to remove the bolts that were holding this piece in place, and this fell out. And thinking about it, that flange I think went around this and tied the two together. So that may have been part of my problem with the engine. I'm not really sure. We'll find out. Alright, so I'm no mechanic, I've said it many times before, but that's the oil pickup, and I'm gonna say that's your problem right there. Not exactly sure what all these little bits and pieces of metal are. Well, that's actually a piece of, yeah, that's just a really bad job of sealing the oil pan on. But all of these are little either copper or metal flakes, and I'm guessing that that is what they talk about when they say that you have a spun bearing. Not 100% sure. We're really not going to know until I start pulling the rest of it apart, but if you know, if you're seeing this and you know, do me a favor and comment below and just let me know that that's definitely what this is. I don't know if I'm going to get that far in the engine today. I'm probably going to try and flip it and work on the other side. But if you think that's what that is, please comment down below, because that's going to be my guess. And actually, I think I showed it, but you can see the same thing sitting down in the bottom of the oil pan. That whole collection of small metal flakes. They look to be copper, not really sure, but I'm going to bet that whatever that is that's throwing out little bits and pieces is what's been causing the engine problem. So, back to work. So it turns out I recorded a lot of video in this engine teardown, so much so that I'm going to break this video up into two different pieces. We're going to end here just sort of taking a look at the bottom of the engine. You know, again, quite frankly, it was fairly clean. Won't spoil anything for the next round of videos, but you know, stick around so you can see what I found when I ended up finishing disassembling the engine. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying this, and please, if you've got any knowledge that you can assist with in anything you see in here from your own experiences in tearing down the engines, let me know. I'd really appreciate it. With that, see ya.